Go watch the game. There's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court.
The physicality that was a part of
What is up, peoples? What is up? This is Kermit, your host for Blake 610 Sports and Life. Today's topic is the NBA is losing to the NFL. Some people don't believe that statement because the NBA is getting all this money and it's flashy. But really, what is happening that people are really not seeing is that the NBA's ratings are plummeting. So let's see why the NBA is losing to the NFL.
If you watch the NBA, it has changed so much over the years. Dan, the rules are so relaxed.
I go watch the game. There's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court.
the physicality that was a part of the league.
But if you know who you are, you should look at it as information.
You can't hand check. You can't contest shots.
Really heavily weighted right now with a three-point shot.
But Adam Silver was talking to the media. He acknowledged that television ratings have fallen on a cliff. But one of his lines was, listen to this, well, we're at the point where our social media audience is at the highest of any league. Yeah, congrats for crushing Twitter, IG, and TikTok.
We're going to compare the two leagues. Let's start with the NBA. The NBA is losing because it's a copycat league. All of the teams and all the players play the same way. They're also losing to the NFL because analytics has ruled them, has given them a new game.
It's down because we're looking at the same thing. Everybody's running the same plays at the damn top of the key, dribble handoff. I was talking to a coach yesterday. He said they want to shoot 53s. But, they were trying to contemplate if I could play in this era. It's like, yo, Chef, we would just shoot 53s. And I was like, well, how much you want to make? We want to make about 10 or 15 of them. I was like, well, that's not going to help you win. But I think everybody's looking at the same thing. And Steph Curry and those guys messed it up. Like, I don't mind Golden State back in the day shooting threes, but every team's not a three-point shooter. So why everybody has the same strategy, I think it makes the game boring.
They believe that shooting threes and making layups is better for the game. And it's really destroying the game because every team is trying to accomplish that. They're shooting 53s. If they make 10 or 15 of them, that's good enough. But if you watch that, that is such a boring game. That's why you have games like 140 to 131. Where is the defense? Let's look at the NFL. The NFL still builds themselves on toughness. You got to be tough to play in the NFL. The NBA, you don't have to be tough. You can act tough and pretend that you're a gangster, get in people's face, but you're really not tough. There's no fighting in the NBA. And then the NBA, they'll fine you and suspend you for make-believe fights. The NFL is built on that toughness still. from the 80s, 90s, the NBA, everything is going down.
There wasn't many free layups, and there was nobody helping you up off the ground.
People always used to say, Shaq, you take a beating. Wasn't a beating. I loved it. And now, 15, 20 years later, you got guys shooting threes. It's cute.
As the league, as an identity for the league as a whole, it don't have that tough, every night I'm going to watch these guys, they going to compete and try to kill each other to win. You don't have that feel when you watch NBA basketball. And it really doesn't get that way until the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals, and then the Finals. That's when most people watch. So you love great guys like Draymond who play the game that way, right? They play the game that physical way that would do anything with the will to win, right? You don't have too many guys. So the integrity of the game has been shot, just shooting threes and, just not having big men in their bank. And like that, just all that in the whole is really the reason why I think the viewership is down. And I think the only way they can get that back is go back to the old style of play.
I think the physicality has been taken out of the game. And to me, that's boring. The old style of refereeing will come back, where if you've earned stripes, you get a better whistle. That's just the way it used to go. And now it's not that way. And then you question why is the game boring? Michael Jordan used to get calls, but not the rookie coming into the league. He ain't get no call. The rookie coming into the league got a call, or thought he was going to get a call. He turned to the referee and said, "You ain't call that." And he said, "Who are you? Why would I call that for you? What have you done?" So I think the human element has been taken out of it. And I don't think that makes for a great product.
The ratings are going down because there's also no rivalry. Everybody likes everybody. In the NFL, there's still rivalries. There's still people trying to get to the Super Bowl where there's big-time rivalries. NBA, it's more collaboration than rivalry. Everybody's worrying about their brand and how they look. And even sometimes what they show at the NBA, which is crazy, they be showing these guys with fashion, how they look when they coming in. It's more about, it's like they're taking their sport to the pretty boy image. Everybody's got their hair looking nice. They got the best, they got the latest sneakers, everything. They look like they just come to, don't touch me, don't touch my hair. Don't, it's like some of them look like they can just put on their regular clothes after the game because they didn't sweat at all. Not to say that they're not skillful, but you're not seeing the skill anymore. You're seeing everybody do the same thing that everybody else does. Close your eyes for a second if you look at the NBA game. People look like people. Everybody looks like everybody. I think it's like NPCs out there. The NFL, you still got those crazy people. You still got people that have mohawks, people with, paint on their face. If you ask most people, they don't watch the games. They maybe watch the finals every so often, or they get the recap of what went on. Nobody wants to watch those games because it's boring. And you kind of know what's going to happen. Who wants to watch a game? It's like a movie that you know is going to happen. Who's going to watch that? Nobody. NFL, you get the stat of who might win, but you never know. One play can change the game.
He's going to have time here, Jim. Whole season for Buffalo on the line here. They come. He just desperately throws it up in the air, incomplete. Kincaid was right there. There is a flag.
Unlike basketball, one play cannot change the game. The thing about the NFL, it's like you are every moment you are at your wits to try to win, to beat the next guy. So you never know that if you're going to win or not. It could take anything. And it finishes, it's one and done. Once you lose the game, you lose the game. Most of the time, these guys are not friends. Most of the time, they're not friends. And they trying to get the next, beat the next team so they can move on. They only talk nice about a rival when they not playing. That's the thing about the NFL. They're a lot more, I need to win this.
When you talk Oscar Robertson and you talk Michael Jordan, you know what I said to guys, when you don't believe what it was like in the 70s, 80s, will you please watch the documentary on the Detroit bad guys? And nobody got thrown out of those games. And you saw guys flying in. It was a joke. I mean, today you would, on one hit, you'd be suspended for a month there, okay? And that's why it's hysterical when these guys are bitching about going to the rim. They don't know what it was like to go to the rim in the 70s and 80s because you might not get up again.
But the NBA now, it's soft and it's, guys don't want to play. They got 82 games. They have so much reasons why they don't play.
Save up your money, buy some tickets for your kids, and then they go to see their favorite player, and he's just resting. What's your take on that? But then I guess the players say they need a rest. I don't know. You hate it.
I hate it. I dislike it. I was just at Michael Jordan's 60th birthday party. He pulled me to the side. And, we talked about that for 30 straight minutes.
Because back in the day, you guys...
You played every game.
No rest.
We wanted to play every single game. We couldn't wait to get out there on the court. Mm-hmm. And it's about your ego, your passion, your love for the game. It's about those fans who, like you said, paid their hard-earned money to watch you play this game of basketball. And then we're getting paid to play something that we love. I mean, so you got to get out there. And last but not least, it's about your team, where you stand. You're losing games when you sit out.
Yes.
And so I dislike it. I hope they get rid of it. And for the fans and for the organizations and for the overall health of the game.
NFL, because of what it is, you only got a few games. They'll tape you up and get you out there, shoot you a cortisone shot and get you to play. And truly, the NFL stands for, what you say, not for long. And these guys played not for long. But it makes it so intriguing. The NBA, they got the best contracts and one of the best contracts, and they play it like it. They're like, please, I don't feel like playing. Or I'm having issues with my contract. So it's, to me, it's more of a spoiled league. They've earned it, granted. But it's at the cost of the fans not wanting to see the games. Because you don't have anything interesting in the games.
It's a lot of fucking threes being shot. Mm-hmm. So it's a bigger conversation, just the All-Star game. What do you want to...
Warriors played the Mavericks. It was one of the worst games I've seen. They just, I think it was 140, 130. They just went up and down the court and shot threes. And I was like, man, this is awful to watch. If you're just gonna have a 3-point shooting contest every night. So I think we got to figure out something. The fan, because the most important thing of the game is the fan.
Yeah.
And if they're not watching, you can't keep your head in the sand. You got to say, what are we doing wrong? And like I say, it's frustrating for me because all it is now is a 3-point shooting contest and a free throw contest. And I don't like it. And, like I say, they can get mad, but I don't want to go see a 3-point shooting contest every night. That ain't no fun.
But the NFL even though you sit in the nosebleed section, you get that feeling of being there. You know, every moment. I think the fact of that it's a one and done game, that any little bit can change the trajectory of a win or loss, have people wanting to see it. But I don't know what's going to stop and change the NBA. But right now, the NFL's kicking their butts. And LeBron had the nerve to say that we that we have Thanksgiving and Christmas. Not for long. The NBA started this year, I believe. They started having games besides Thanksgiving, they have it on Christmas, and they're about to take over from the from the NBA. Watch. They're going to take over from the NBA. They're going to start to put marquee games during Christmas and take the NBA out. And then the NFL, they're more so concerned. Lastly, they're concerned with playing, not so much political things like the NBA. The NBA is on every political things, topics. They're everywhere. But I can understand why they're everywhere, because if you have a cookie cutter game that everybody looks the same, you can do stuff like that. You're just shooting, there's no you don't play sometimes. So the NBA had gotten too political. So guys, let me know, is the ratings due to the NBA's change of everything? And do you believe that they're losing to the NFL? I just gave you a reason why I believe that the NFL is kicking their butts. Tell me what you think. Always remember, persistence overcomes resistance. I'm out of here. Peace.